Evening folks, evening. Welcome back to the channel. We are back for the final round of the Civics Unleashed. We're live from Sardegna C, so it's the short triangular version of the circuit. Not really a lot to discuss in terms of what's what the track is about. We'll have a look when we get in the lobby. But yeah, final round tonight, last one of the Civics. It's the last one for me for a couple of weeks, to be honest. All leagues have come to an end except this one, so last round tonight of this. So let's have a look at points coming into this final round. It is Obi-Wan that's still at the top of the table with 338 points. He's not clear yet though. Mocking Weeks is in second with 328 points, so could still be on the cards for a win here tonight. 3 15-minute races, plenty of points to be picking up. Tire Slayer is in third with 242 points. Pilgrim is in fourth with 238 points. We've got two drivers on 232 points in fifth. We've got Apache and Manny. Dylan is in seventh with 202 points. And the bottom half of the table, we've got Dazzler with 197 points in eighth. Captain Bugwash in ninth with 179 points. Skippy in 10th with 111 points, Mulson 01 with 89 points, Bandaley in 12th with 68 points, Footer 69 Eng in 13th with 63 points, and Wrecking Ball Race in 14th place, 53 points. So that's coming into tonight. Again, 3 races, 15-minute little smash around here at Sardegna. Merch still available, people. Only t-shirts, sorry, only stickers now. No t-shirts available. All gone. Evening. Let me put some sound on. You can see it. You can't hear it. Yes, so this is the last one for me for the next couple of weeks. Back on in 2 weeks' time on Saturday night for the next round of the Ring Calf. So 9 drivers so far, still in practice, so qualifying not kicked off. Is it just going to be the 9 of you for the finals? Doesn't look like anyone else is turning up. So we've got Obi-Wan, Mocking, Tire Slayer, Pilgrim, Apache, P1 Manny, Dylan, Dazzler and Captain Pugwash for this final round. Again, 3 15-minute races here at Sardegna. We'll wait for qualifying and then... has this one got qualifying? There's no qualifying for this one. Straight into the race. Okay, if that's the case. It's as of championship positions. We'll see if we can do a lap quickly. So this is turn 1. Down towards turn 2, the wide open S's, turn 3 as well. Heading straight down towards turn 4, another left-hander. Starts taking us down the hill. There's a big chunk of wall on the outside here that can catch you out if you're not careful. Down the hill then, through these S's. And then back up the hill. Again, not really a lot to speak about in terms of this circuit. Dylan locking the car up round this final corner and we're back onto the start finish straight. That's about it for Sardegna C. It is just a short, punchy little triangle. And back down towards turn 1 again. Look a bit glitchy tonight, Dylan. Not sure what's going on there. Don't forget to hit that like button, people. Thanks. Oof. Again, easily carry a little bit too much speed through some of these turns. So this is championship leader then, OB1. Mocking Weeks though, chasing him down. Oh, he's not out the pits yet, is he? So we'll be cracking on with race 1 any second. As you can see, someone's already found the horn. Okay, reverse grid of championship positions. The lights go on now then. First of the 15-minute race is about to get underway. So pretty good start by everybody. Nobody left behind, that's the main thing. Look at this, already 3 wide as they're coming up towards turn 1. Still side by side for Dazzler and Pugwash through turn 2 and 3. But it is Dylan that holds that lead. Dazzler does get himself into second. Pugwash has to slot himself into third. Obi-Wan has got himself through to fourth already. Being chased by Pilgrim. I think it was Manny we saw run off track just a little bit through turn 1. Apache looking for a totally different line through there to carry the speed. Tyre Slayer and Mocking Week still bolted onto the back end. Whoa, as we come into the hairpin. Gets a little bit punchy through there. Manny, I think, just bumping into somebody. He pulls over to let them come past. We take that position back on with the racing now then. But Dylan has already pulled a 1.3 second lead up front. Medium tyres on for race 1 here then for Dylan. Mediums and hards only for this one. Dazzler into that second comfortably. Obi through to third. Pilgrim through to fourth. Captain Pugwash being pushed all the way down to fifth. Tyre Slayer 6th, Manny 7th, Mocking Weeks made up a position up to 8th. Oh, drivers risking it through that final corner before they hit this downhill section. Mocking up another position into 7th, then Apache down to 8th, Manny 9th. It does look like Mocking was going to have a little look there. Yeah, he did get past Pilgrim as well. Up into 6th then for Mocking. It looks like Dylan's made a little mistake somewhere. He's a little bit slow out of that final corner. Dazzler is now just 1.1 seconds behind him. Both on the medium tyre. Obi-Wan's pulled himself into that third position already as well. Not that he's racing Dylan, but obviously maximum points needed tonight. He needs to get as many as he possibly can ahead of Mocking Weeks. 10 points ahead of him in the championship coming into this final round. Oh no, there's that bit of wall sticking out. You just saw Tyre Slayer get tangled up with that front and rear damage. He hits that wall, stops him dead. And somebody else has ended up smashing themselves into the back of him. It's Apache. Got a big pile of front end damage. Again, it just stopped Pilgrim dead. Ourselves on board with third place man. Obi chasing down Dazzler for that second. Only 1.8 seconds between the three of these, first, second and third. Not able to get the overtake done down the start finish line into turn 1 then for Obi. I didn't realise we had blimps in this game. at that, gets a great exit out of there. Pulls alongside Dazzler, gets himself through. Both have to compromise their speed coming down that hill just to make sure they stay on circuit, and that has allowed Dylan to open up that gap then to 2 seconds, although he goes wide into that final corner. Dazzler just out of slipstream range himself. The melee happening behind. Mocking Weeks then through to 4th, away from that pile behind. So Tyre Slayer leading that little group there. Then Manny right behind him. Chased by Pilgrim and Captain Pugwash, just having a little bit of a side by side coming into that first turn. There is Apache. So all cars damage repaired now. Apache can get himself back up to speed. He's still tucked onto the back end of that fight. Gives a slightly better angle of that corner down the hill. That one tells you, shows you why they've got to slow down a little bit. Still 1.8, 1.9 between the top two. They pulled a little bit of a gap over Dazzler. That gap to 1.7 then back to him in 3rd. Mocking Weeks another 2.3 seconds back, so still pushing hard then. Pulling away from that pile behind. Again, Tyre Slayer's opened that gap between himself and that little pack behind as well. Now it's Pilgrim, Manny, Pugwash and Apache. Oh, contact. Pilgrim and Pugwash have a little bit of door banging coming through there. Let's get ourselves on with Apache. Back of this little 4-way fight. The drivers seem to have enjoyed these little Civics. They're a little bit loose on the medium and the hard tyres, as you've noticed. Not so much at this circuit, but some of the circuits. Oh no, Manny! Manny goes too deep through there, sticks it in the wall. Yeah, they're a little bit loose. I was just about to say, not necessarily at this circuit, but some of the other races throughout the season, they have literally had to have these things sideways coming into the turns. Apache then trying to close back up on Pugwash and get that position back off him. There's a little look through there. Not quite able to get a wing up the inside. Does he have a go late braking into this turn? Oh, a little bit of contact. I think he went for the move late. Pugwash actually able to hold on to that. Keeps it on the tarmac. And they're going to have to wait again for another couple of corners. Right, let's get ourselves back up front. No, I hear tyres squealing. Dazzler's stuck it in the wall. So Dylan finds himself with a little bit of a penalty. Drops it on that start-finish straight. It's got Obi-Wan closing up on him now. He will be within slipstream range by the time they come out of this corner, I think. Oh, almost. So the race is on here then for first. Mocking Weeks getting automatically promoted. Dazzler, I think, carrying a little bit too much speed into that final hairpin. And has pushed it deep, maybe into the wall. No damage on his car, but it could be. There you go, look, that's how they have to drive these things, sideways. Seems to be the only way to get them around some of these turns. But yeah, Dazzler got that final hairpin wrong, put it in the wall. That allowed Mocking Weeks through to 3rd place. Dazzler 4th, Tyre Slayer 5th. Pilgrim closing back up on him now. That mistake from Dazzler has brought him into the danger zone really for Tyre Slayer and Pilgrim. They're not that far behind him, 1.6 seconds. Apache has got himself past Captain Pugwash. Ooh, excuse me. Having a little look back though, coming into turn 1, Puggers. Gets it done. Unfortunately, Manny off the pace now then, 12 seconds back with that mistake into the hairpin. We saw him pretty much do the same thing I think Dazzler did. Oh no, Dylan, what have you done? What have you done? So you did have a second in front of Obi, and now you are 2.9 seconds behind him. What happened? Too much speed round turn 4, was it? Out onto the grass, spun it round, maybe smashed it into the wall. It's got to be one of those. Let's just get ourselves. I'll show you where I think he crashed. He carried enough speed around this one, but I think he carried far too much with Obi being so close. He tried to carry the speed through this corner, I think. Either took too much curb, which pushed him out, and he slid out and hit that wall on the right hand side, which stopped him dead in his tracks, as we saw Pilgrim. But he noticed there that corner at turn 4, he didn't hit the curb in on the apex. Most drivers have. So I think he's clipped the curb previous lap, which has pushed him out. This time he's decided to try and avoid it. But that's a shame for him. He did have a bit of a lead out front, did Dylan. Wouldn't no threat from Mocking Weeks though. He's still 3.6 seconds back himself. Dazzler still holding 4th. He's managed to pull a bit more of a gap between himself and those drivers behind. So Pilgrim 2.5 seconds back. They've managed to drop Tyre Slayer somehow, so maybe a little mistake from him on those slightly worn mediums. Pugwash back into that 7th. Apache's not been able to get back onto the rear end of him yet. And there is Manny just in the background. He has closed that gap down actually. It was 12 seconds between himself and Apache. It's now down to 6.9. Dylan's starting to bring that time back down though between himself and Obi. .8 seconds the gap. 11 minutes into race 1. We've got 4 minutes remaining, just under. Chase is on then. There's Mocking. Falling a little further back, unfortunately. So this not helping his championship chances out. Obviously, Obi already in front of him by 10 points. He's currently 2 places ahead, sitting in 1st, whereas Mocking's 3rd. That's the 4th then. Pilgrim 5th. Tyre Slayer in 6th. A lot of the field broken up now. We've got Captain Pugwash and Apache back together though. Different lines through there. Pugwash's does seem to be a little bit quicker though. I'm saying that, look, Apache right up the inside of that apex. Back on his tail as they hit this start-finish straight. He's got enough. No, I think he's a little bit too far back for the slipstream to work. Actually, Captain Pugwash gets a great exit out of that final turn. Pulls away a little bit from Apache. They've got to do it all again. A little twitch from Puggers. With race leader then, still 1.7 seconds back to Dylan. So 13 minutes into race 1, 2 minutes remaining. Can Dylan get that top spot back? Might be a tall ask with an Obi-Wan in front of him. It's not impossible though. Mocking Weeks falls a little bit further back still. 5 seconds behind at 2nd place Dylan then. 3 seconds ahead of Dazzler. So barring any mistake should stay in that position. Pilgrim 5th, Tyre Slayer 6th. Patchy and Pugwash still battling it out for 7th and 8th. And Manny still pushing here, got that gap down to 4.5 seconds. It's a little bit too little now though, too late for him to make any kind of push back for position. We're going to see 2 more laps here. Dylan is still bringing that time down between himself and Obi. It's 1.3 seconds currently. So what are they? 58-second laps. They crossed the line at about 14. What was it? 14:52 or something like that. So I think they'll definitely get another lap after this one. Tyres just catching these drivers out again. Obi making a little mistake through there, allows Dylan to close up a little bit more. He gets within that slipstream range now. Needs a good exit out of here to get himself bolted onto the back end of Obi. 0.6 of a second. I think he had to back off the throttle just in the second part of that corner. Allowed Obi-Wan to accelerate a tiny bit quicker than he did, a tiny bit earlier. Final lap then. We have already got drivers crossing the line, so let's go and see where we are. Mockin takes 3rd, then Dazzler 4th, Pilgrim 5th. Tyre Slayer will take 6th. Apache 7th, managed to stay ahead of Pugwash then. Pugwash taking 8th. Manny actually closing right back up. Oh, why did it jump straight to Mockin? I don't know. The race is on here though. Bumper to bumper as they come up the hill. Just this final hairpin to go and then a drag race down to the start-finish line. Oh, different lines through there. Dylan has got the power on the outside. Just able to pull away, takes the win off of Obi right at the last minute. Again, he was leading for pretty much most of that one, but made a mistake halfway through. Gave it to Obi, but managed to claw it back. There it is, a win on the cards for him. So, 2nd place for Obi, 3rd place for Mockin. That obviously keeps Obi in front. He's still scoring more points than Mockin, obviously, in that race. That takes him a couple of more points further ahead of him. And now it's almost, just try and figure this out. It's only 9 drivers. Mockin could still win it, I think. But he's got to come pretty much first in both of these races. And hope to God that Obi-Wan finishes last in both of these next races. I can't see that happening, can you? I can't. That's not going to happen. 21-27 then, the race will start, race 2. Yeah, all of the leagues are done then until for 2 weeks at least. No Ring Cafe on Saturday next week, because that little lovely thing there, that beastly thing there is coming out. It's coming out for a bit of a throw down some mountains again. So yeah, nothing on next week, but we are back the following week for another round of Ring Caf. Nothing on in the cards yet for the next P1 leagues. Obviously no sign of GTTCC, that has just finished. Yeah, it'll be a quiet one apart from Saturdays. I don't mind it, I don't mind a couple of weeks off, to be honest. So a second and a third race, exactly the same format, but we're going to see race, race 2 is as of race 1 final positions. Maybe. Could be reverse grid, but I don't think it is. So it's either grid positions will be as of race 1 finish positions, or it'll be a reverse grid. I forget whether it's race 2 or race 3. Two more minutes then. That coil doesn't taste nice. Yeah, so championship wise then, it's looking pretty good for Obi at the minute. Again, not impossible for Mockin. He's got to win both the next ones and hope Obi DNFs or something like that, or comes last in both. But I can't see that happening. Not unless he's paid off every other driver to pin Obi into the wall at every opportunity. But have you done that, Mockin? Have you done that? No? Everybody's still out on track then, just getting those last few minutes of practice in. Again, just a couple of corners here that are a little bit tricky. The hairpin, obviously, turn 1, turn 4. The run down the hill, just as you turn down the hill. I've seen a few drivers get it wrong there. Beautiful scenery here there at Sardegna. It'll be that kind of stuff that you're looking at on screen now in the background that I'll be throwing myself down next Saturday, Sunday. I don't ride up hills, alright? Don't really ride down hills. I get on a bike, I do a few pedals out the start gate, and I hang on for dear life. Hopefully, may have some footage of all that next week. At which point, I'll probably end up sticking some of that on the tube as well. Not sure. I've got some ideas for like obviously me and my boys play a bit of golf, as you know. But I've only just started, so I'm tempted. I say just started. I've been playing about a year, 2 years. Tempted to start up another channel with sort of the bikey golfy stuff on, but let's forget that. We've got race 2 just about to kick off then. Lights are on. They are underway again. It is as of race 2, race 1 final positions then. So Dylan leads us out, followed by Obi. Mockin Weeks right on his tail. Again, he needs to do as much as he can, and he needs Obi to do as little as he can. Everyone having to feather the throttle then early on. Can't carry as much speed around there as you want because there's other drivers in your way. Dylan leads then, Obi second, Mockin third, Pilgrim fourth. Oh, everyone risking it through there. Pilgrim in fourth, Dazzler fifth, Apache sixth. Oh, he catches them all through there. That's pushed him out wide. He's onto the grass. Gets back on track. He's running slow. I think everybody's going to have a go at him. Apache finds himself with a half-second penalty with that little indiscrepancy then. Manny having a go at him on the exit of that turn. He's got Tyre Slayer in the slipstream as well. Penalty. Oh, he's got away with the penalty this lap. He'll have to hold on to that one till next lap. Dylan then looking to stretch that lead on the hard tyre for race 2. Not everybody opted for that one. Pilgrim has decided to go for the medium tyre. Obi-Wan's gone with a hard tyre. He has lost that position of second place to Mockin and Pilgrim. That little mistake coming around this particular turn, I did see him run a tiny bit wide. He was actually running slow back down the hill, and those two were able to get past him on the run back up here then to the hairpin. Yeah, they are a little bit squirmy, these things, under braking as well. Back end wants to step round, and the back end wants to try and take the corner first, unfortunately. So Pugwash in 5th, Dazzler 6th, Manny 7th. Apache loses that penalty. Tyre Slayer gets past him. Doesn't dent his race too much though. He's still within touching distance of those drivers in front. Picking up a little bit of a toe as well coming into turn 1. Dylan then 1.2 seconds out front on the hard tyre. Mockin also on the hard tyre in 2nd. Obi back into 3rd then. He's managed to find a way past Pilgrim. Must have been using the slipstream on the start-finish straight. But Pilgrim all over him on the run back up the hill. Goes for a different line. Trying to cut back Pilgrim. Get the run on the exit of turn, the final turn on Obi. Closes up a little bit as they come back up the hill. Again, I don't know whether it's going to be enough. It's going to be a brave move by Pilgrim if he goes for it. He decides to back off. Obi did give him plenty of room though. There was the option to still go for that one, Pilgs. Piling the pressure on the 3rd place man though, on that slightly softer tyre. He's on the mediums versus the top 3 who are on the hards. And again, the mistakes that are catching these drivers out through turn 4. I think that's what caught out Obi before, but I think it was a little more dramatic than that. So into 4th he goes then. Captain Pugwash now behind him in 5th. He's a little bit deep himself. Manny 6th, Dazzler 7th. Tyre Slayer deep through the hairpin as well in 8th. Oh, Apache even wider through the hairpin in 9th. Trying to carry the speed up the hill, I think. Just caught himself out. Dylan then extending that lead, 2.4 seconds, making it look easy on those hard tyres. Pilgrim closing back up on Mockin now. Again, Mockin on the hard tyre, Pilgrim on the medium. Again, they have to throw these cars sideways in some of these corners. You can see how much time the medium tyres make up on Mockin Weeks, how much time he's pulled on Obi-Wan behind as well. And again it goes for that different line. Oh, Mockin Weeks goes deep into the hairpin. Pilgrim not quite able to get the power down. He did have the inside line but not able to get the power down quite as quickly. Now will he go for the move this time? Just 0.2 of a second behind Mockin. Another look up the inside. Again, Mockin gives him plenty of room. Still side by side on the exit. Mockin again gets a good drive out of that first turn. Fortunately, what this is doing is just allowing Dylan to escape down the road. There is an Obi-Wan out of nowhere. Three-way fight back on then between those three. Captain Pugwash a little way off those three in front of him, 1.7 seconds back. He's got 1.6 seconds over these two that are battling for 6th and 7th. Again, Dazzler, Manny looking for different lines through there. I couldn't tell you which is quicker. I think the racing line is, I know people go for the cutback, but you just can't get the power down enough. Let's have a look up the hill though, use the slipstream coming into turn 1. That's got his braking points right though. Yes, he has. Into 6th then for Manny. Not out of the woods though for Dazzler. He can tuck himself right behind him. Tyre Slayer off those two a little bit as well. 2.7 seconds back. And there's Apache, another 2 seconds back himself in 9th. Yeah, Dylan 4 seconds up the road then now. Mockin in 2nd, Pilgrim in 3rd again on those medium tyres. This is where we saw Obi get Pilgrim last lap. Fortunately, I think Pilgrim's got a little bit of a toe off of Mockin in front, which is enough to negate the toe for Obi. He still gets a toe, but he can't use it to actually fly past Pilgrim. Still very, very close together, these three. Halfway through race 2 then. Everything through turn 4. He carries a bit too much speed down the hill. Ooh. Almost clips Pilgrim's rear end coming out of that turn as well. Pilgrim takes a shortcut across the grass. Has got away with that. They are both closing up on Mockin Wheats though. Pilgrim just 0.7 of a second back. There is Obi, tucked well in the slipstream then, closing up as they come up the hill. Don't think he's close enough to go for the move, is he? Yes, he is. Brave move on the hards there by Obi. He's got to take his opportunities where he can on the hards. Can't even see Dylan on this circuit in front of these guys now. Let's have a look from Mockin Wheat's point of view. Might just see him coming back up the hill on the other side. Yeah, there he is. 5 seconds up the road then. Mockin 2nd, Obi in back into 3rd, but we've seen Pilgrim have a good go at him. A couple of these corners, again deep through there for Obi. Carries the speed on the outside though. Now Pilgrim, got to use that slipstream coming up this straight. He's pretty close. Go for the move himself. He doesn't. Not able to get that one done, but he does carry good speed out of that first turn. Looking for a way past Obi down towards turn 4. Again, you've got to risk it going up the inside through there. All three still very close together. But look at this, 5.5 seconds up the road then for Dylan. Mockin 2nd, Obi. Oh! Oh! Obi is coming there a little bit too hot. Pilgrim's had to take avoiding action. He's driven himself onto the grass and into the wall. And Obi-Wan has just tagged Mockin Wheat's rear wing and almost spun him round at the hairpin as well. Did back off the throttle, we give that position back to Mockin. He was already ahead of Pilgrim, so doesn't have to give that position back or any kind of advantage back to Pilgrim. Just an unfortunate event for Pilgs. Dazzler then into 5th. Manny managed to pull up behind him. Needs to have been at it for a little while. Captain Bookwash then in 7th. Tyre Slayer in 8th. Apache in 9th, looking to close that gap back up as well. Most drivers on the hards then for this race. Mediums on board for Pugwash. Hards on for that pair. Got mediums on for Pilgrim. And the top 3 on hards. So Captain Pugwash and Pilgrim will have a set of hards to play with in the final race. Whereas everyone else will be on the mediums, I think. Didn't see anyone on the mediums in race 1, did I? Was I even looking? Pulled in more time, 6.7 seconds then for Dylan. Mockin got himself through to that 2nd. His managed to fend off those drivers behind him. Whether we can do that to the end of the race, I don't know. Obi has been looking a bit dangerous. Pilgrim's fallen off the back of that fight by a long shot now then, 2.3 seconds behind despite the faster tyre. Dazzler in 5th then, up the hill towards the hairpin. Pugwash in 6th. No, what you done, Manny? Manny's binned it. Manny's binned it. It's got a big dent on the front, big dent on the rear. Was battling for 5th with Captain Pugwash, 5th and 6th. Oh, sorry, Dazzler, apologies. Dropped all the way to the back of the field, 3.4 seconds behind Apache as well. And unfortunately, only 2.5 minutes left of race 2. Race leader finds himself with another penalty. That's not too much of a worry for him. Half a second with 6.3 seconds lead is nothing to be overly concerned about. Obi-Wan's not been able to close the gap up on Mocking Weeks yet either. He has been trying for sure. He's had a bit of a race with Pilgrim for the last few laps. There is Pilgrim in 4th, 1.6 seconds behind him now, so the tyre's still got a little bit of life in them. I don't know whether he's going to be quick enough on those tyres to get back behind Obi-Wan and maybe push for that position. Dazzler then in 5th. Captain Pugwash trying to close up behind him, just a second back actually at the minute on that medium tyre, so again slightly quicker. Tyre Slayer 7th. Ooh, excuse me. Apache and Manny having a little bit of a battle for this final position then at the minute with Manny's mistake. Again, I think this was turn 4 he got wrong. Yeah, pretty much very similar to that. Okay, a minute left on the clock then. Dylan will see another lap after this. I think these two will see another one after this one as well. Possibly Pilgrim, I don't know. Dazzler then through. Puggers through. Might be all she wrote then. Not many drivers very close to each other to have a go. Obi and Mockin probably the closest. Okay, they've got 10 seconds to get down to the line. I don't know if they will see another lap. Will they? Have they? No, they haven't. Mocking Weeks does take 2nd. Obi-Wan comes home in 3rd. Pilgrim takes 4th. Dazzler takes 5th. Pugwash right behind him for 6th. We have got Tyre Slayer taking 7th. Apache coming home in 8th. And Manny taking 9th again. Mistake at turn 4 for him. This man gets a little lap all on his own. This race especially, he's literally not put a foot wrong. He has picked up a half a second penalty. Okay, he has put a foot wrong. He picked up a half a second penalty, but outside of that, he's just been able to extend that lead out front and takes another win here tonight. So, championship points back to how they were, 10 points between them. Obi still leading. So I think it's Obi's now. I think it's just Obi's. I think he's won it. Because there's 10 points difference between them. So I don't think it matters where Obi finishes. I could be wrong, but I don't think it matters where Obi finishes. Let me just mention that in the chat. I think it's Obi. So they might confirm it now. Mocking might just go, yeah, Obi's. He's got it. So, last race of the season coming up then. And then nothing out of me for 2 weeks. Got a bit of peace and quiet. Puggers, pack it in. Don't make me get the random number generator out. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll random number generate you. Random number generator. Giving you a number. What have we got? 9. All right. Oh, what are you doing? Don't be trying to type it into the flipping thing. And it doesn't work, does it? Because my keyboard's not connected to that. You might not have any idea what I'm talking about. Random number generated you, and it'll still be the wrong number. 1 week. 1 week I've had right with buggers. What you might see underneath that comment now is wrong. Okay, we ain't gonna get time for that. Just gonna let him know it's the random number generator. I'm sure he probably knows. If he doesn't, he better watch the stream or he won't have any idea what I was going on about. Why are you two butting heads? Okay, last 15 minutes here then of the season. Live from Sardegna. Let's see who's got. Oh no, everyone's gone for hard tyres, final race. Okay, a few drivers must have had them on for race 1. Manny going to lead us out then. Reverse grid for the final one. Held for a fair amount of time on the line. Through they go then. Manny leading us down towards turn 1. Getting a little bit misty here. Shouldn't affect the cars too much. Might make the circuit a little bit slippier. Tiny bit of moisture in the air. Everybody through turn 1 cleanly. Oh, a little bit of bumping and a barge in. Oh no, that was naughty. Oh my days. Chaos and mayhem. Tyre Slayer sticking a wing onto Puggers there. I think it was Puggers. Yes, I think it was. Possibly he's at the back. Manny leads us through. Oh, Patchy, where are you going? Trying to carry far too much speed out of that corner. Mocking Weeks has already got himself into third position. Laszlo 4th, Dylan 5th. Is Dylan looking for all three again tonight? He's been pretty quick in these Civics, to be honest. He's right in the thick of it at the minute. 3 drivers in front of him, everybody else behind. We've seen how quick it can be though on a set of hard tyres. They do have to get the rear ends just stepping out to get these things lined up for corners. Look how much speed that Dylan has carried away from everybody else behind. They're still battling actually side by side coming through that section. Here's Pilgrim that just gets himself in front. Obi having a go at him up into the hairpin though. Still side by side for those 2 drivers on the exit. Let's just go and have a look at that. Oh, Pilgrim running slow, unfortunately. Obi gets out. Tyre Slayer's going to have a go at him. Mocking Weeks then using the slipstream to get his way past Apache. Dylan looking for a way past as well. Almost 3 wide coming into turn 1. That might have ended up absolutely chaotic. Apache just goes for the switch back up the inside though. Takes that one back off of Mocking. Dylan sees the opportunity, goes for it as well. Mocking gets dropped down to 4th then. Absolutely sideways. Dylan off track. Mocking Weeks comes back through. Apache was slow out of there as well. Mocking Weeks is going to come back and have a go at him for 2nd. Apache goes slightly defensive into the hairpin. Deep on the way through though. Just leaves the door wide open for Mocking Weeks to come through and take that position. Pulling a little bit of time on Apache as well. So trying to close up on Manny in front, 1.6 seconds up the road. Why's that all stopped? Go back on it. Yeah, stream's still running. Good. So Manny up front then, 1.6 seconds. Mocking Weeks into 2nd position. Still being chased by Apache at the minute. Obi-Wan into 4th. He's got Dylan for company after running himself off track. Back on, but in 5th. Tyre Slayer 6th. Pilgrim 7th. Oh, he's found himself with a half a second penalty. Hold on to that one until the next lap, unfortunately. Won't be able to get rid of that one now. Puggers having a go at him up this start-finish straight as well. You need to be tucked into that slipstream there, Puggers. Not able to get the job done into turn 1 then. Dazzler way off the pace now. 12.8 seconds down, unfortunately. Already a third of the way into race 3. Mocking has found himself into the lead of the race. Apache 2nd. Obi-Wan 3rd. Dylan 4th. Manny has dropped that position from 1st to 5th. Tyre Slayer at 6th still. Pilgrim got to lose that penalty this lap. That's going to give Captain Pugwash that 7th position. Pilgrim should be able to get himself tucked back under the rear wing. And does do. That drags him a little bit faster down that straight. Doesn't get dropped by the pack. Dazzler way off, no slipstream for him. He'll be begging for people to be having mistakes, I think. But it is Mocking Weeks lead in this one then. Almost off track himself through there. Obi-Wan in the background off track. Mocking Weeks trying to open that gap then to break the toe between himself and Apache. Almost. Obi-Wan and Dylan closing back up though very slowly. They are just getting a toe off of Apache in front. Dylan all over the back of Obi coming into turn one. Does he go for the move up the inside? No, backs out of it. Had a little look. Chase on here then. Manny in that 5th position. Tyre Slayer 6. Puggers in 7th. Pilgrim in 8th after losing that penalty then. He's muffed it up somewhere. Dazzler now got somebody to race with. 3.5 seconds, sorry, 3.9 seconds in front for Pilgs. Top 4 then, staying pretty close together. Weeks gets a good corner through there. Just opens up that time to break the toe between himself and Apache. Apache on the other hand, I'm going to jump on board with Dylan in 4th. Apache's got a mirror full of these two, Obi and Dylan looking for a way past. As it stands, Obi would win the championship. See that gravel there? How do you get tyre marks on gravel like that? Please explain. Obi then looking for a way past Apache in front. Tries to get up the inside through turn 3. They're side by side. Dylan carries the speed through. He's going to end up right behind Obi. Shoves him through the gap. Pulls himself through as well. So Apache goes from 2nd to 4th in one corner. And there is an Apache, a Manny right behind him as well. Now, can they get onto the rear end of Mocking Weeks? What's that gap looking like? 1.2 seconds between race leader and Obi. Now, will Dylan and Obi work together on the straights to try and close that gap up? Or are they battling for position right to the end? To be careful though, again, just having that little battle, those little bits of defensive driving into some of these turns slows you down and allows Mocking Weeks to open the gap up a little bit more every time. Absolutely bumper to bumper running up the hill. So this is where we might see a little bit of bump drafting here. I don't know whether Dylan gets the exit speed. He's not going to close up on Obi-Wan enough to give him a shove down the track. That's what I was expecting, a little bit of bump drafting down the start-finish straight to close that gap up to Mocking. But not to be at the minute, still got 1.3 seconds lead. Obi 2nd, Dylan right behind him for 3rd. Oh, Mocking Weeks almost losing it through there. He's going to have lost a big chunk of time with that one. Yeah, a couple of attempts to Obi-Wan and Dylan chasing him down. Again, Obi having to go slightly defensive into the apex, but the hairpin, side by side with Dylan now. Dylan not able to carry the speed around that turn. And now we get a bit of bump drafting. Tiny little nudges then from Dylan to push him towards Mocking, but he also goes for the move up the inside. And the race is back on then. Can Dylan close that gap up? They are back within toe range of Mocking now. That little mistake cost him dearly. He's got 4.5 minutes to try and fend off these two drivers behind him. I'm sure he'd quite like those two to get back involved and have another battle for that second position, but now the positions are swapped. I don't know whether that's going to happen. All over the back of Mockin now then. Half a second back in tow range. That gap coming down a little bit as well. Again, it's not going to be enough to get a move done into turn 1. Very close though. 11.5 minutes, 3.5 left. First place, Mockin Weeks being chased by Dylan and Obi. Oh no! He's put himself on the grass. That allows Dylan to come through to take race lead. Obi-Wan not able to get past him through there. What a shame for Mockin. He only had a minute or two left to defend. Still not out of the woods yet, still within tow range of Dylan in front. And we might see Obi and Mockin work together now. No, they're going for a drag race down the start-finish straight. Obi going for the inside line into turn 1. Gets that position back then into second, Mockin third. Mockin pushing Obi around some of these turns again, just to try and close that gap up on Dylan in front. Mockin Weeks trying to carry all the speed around there. So still within slipstream range of Dylan. They are starting to run out of corners, run out of laps. Oh, that's not what you meant to do. Give people epilepsy. That's what I meant to do. It's looking like Dylan's able to defend reasonably easily. He's not, he's not out of the woods yet. He's holding his own against these two. He's not allowing them to close that gap up anymore. Sideways through turn 3. Manny into 4th position then, Tyre Slayer 5th, Captain Pugwash in 6th, Apache in 7th, Pilgrim in 8th and Dazzler in 9th. Round we go again then, 14 minutes gone. This will be final lap. Dylan has just got to defend for this final lap, not make any mistakes. Again, not really put a foot wrong tonight. He's picked up a couple of very small penalties. One mistake which cost him the lead to Obi, but he managed to get that one back off him. So just the hairpin to go then for Dylan. As long as he doesn't get that one wrong, he shouldn't do now. Hooks that apex. Obi tries to get the hammer down on the exit of that turn, but it's not going to be enough. It is going to be Dylan that takes the win here. 15-minute timer ticks over. Dylan comes home in first, then Obi takes second. Mockin Weeks comes home in third. Manny will take 4th. Tyre Slayer 5th, being chased by Captain Pugwash in 6th. Apache will take 7th. Pilgrim will take 8th, and Dazzler has already crossed the line. He was parked at the line, waiting for that timer to tick over. So Apache takes 7th, Pilgrim takes 8th, and Dazzler taking that 9th position. There it is. Race 3 done and dusted. There's the results. Dylan up top again. Obi-Wan 2nd, Mocking Weeks 3rd, Manny 4th, Tyre Slayer 5th, Captain Pugwash in 6th, Apache 7th, Pilgrim in 8th, and Dazzler all on his own in 9th. But I think that is a Zenobi win, Zenobi-1 win, Mocking Week 2nd. I don't know who else. Yeah, I thought as much. I thought as much. Obi-Wan, congratulations. I think taking that championship. Mocking 2nd again. I'm not sure who's 3rd with all the different car positions and place positions and people not turning up. But that's it. No problem, people. No problem. That's the Civics done again. No problem, gentlemen, at all. Just get confirmation of that, those final positions, and that'll be us done. It's been a pretty good league. It's a shame we're down to this many drivers, but it seems to happen throughout the leagues at the minute. No problem, money. Come on, Mocking, get that calculator working. Manny's out. Is that it, Mocking? Is that it? Are we happy? Obi took the win, yeah, I thought so. Let's just try and find out who's 3rd. Oh, there we go. There we go. It comes up in the chat. I've not even got to type that. Okay. So Obi took the win. Mocking took 2nd, and Tyre Slayer took 3rd in that one. Again, I think Tyre Slayer might be a bit dizzy. He's been at the top of this league for a fair amount of time. Even the other lads have been calling him out for it. But there it is, the P1 Civics Unleashed, done and dusted. Again, so nothing on next week, nothing after that either. Just the Ring Cafe on Saturday nights until the new leagues start. But yeah, I'll keep you informed either on the Saturday stream or on the Facebook page, or it'll crop up in the P1 page. I'll let you know somehow. But yeah, outside of that, people, I hope you've liked what you've watched. If you have, like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, what I want you to do, if I can find my mouse cursor, is tell your mates and tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.